My name is Alyssa Christian, and I'm the founder and chair of the MS Foundation of the Cayman Islands. I was diagnosed with MS in 2015 officially, but I had had symptoms multiple years leading up to that. So I just lost vision in one eye, the next eye, and then back to the first eye. After I had my first child in 2013, I started experiencing stabbing pains, weakness, balance issues, numbing. At first I was scared and I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect, what MS really was. I thought my doctor was a little bit crazy at the time. I said, Dr. Foley, I cannot lose my vision. I can't. I'm an artist. My degree's in interior design. Like that to me is my worst nightmare. And I cried just even thinking about that. And so when it became a reality for me, and Dr. Foley said, well, dear, we don't wish that on anybody. I was like, no, but you don't get it. For me, that's my life. That's everything to me.
My mommy has a foundation that helps people with MS. The people that my mommy helps don't look sick.
99% of the time when you tell somebody you have MS, their response is usually, well, you look so great. And while I know that they mean that in the nicest way possible, it is very frustrating to hear, because what I want them to understand and know is that what's happening on the inside of our bodies is not always reflected outwardly, and it is hard to see. And we even had some local photographers take interpretation photos of MS symptoms such as optic neuritis, dizziness, and present those in an artistic way to help others who don't have MS visualize what those experiences are like.
I have lost track of how many friends and acquaintances I know that have MS now. I can't count, there's so many. It is honestly one of the most excruciating diseases ever, and I think people don't get that. I hope people understand how serious this is, and that when you see somebody that has MS, one day might be good, but the next day might be horrible.
As a doctor, I've seen patients with multiple sclerosis and the suffering they go through, as well as their families, and how difficult and challenging the disease can be. Which is why an organization like this is very, very important to have here in the Cayman Islands.
There are a lot of challenges to having MS, physically, emotionally, mentally. Yeah, it's tough. It's not easy.
There's the whole emotional.
Yeah, that's another. Like, it's a roller coaster all in itself.
I'll be good one minute, and then like the next minute I'm either sad or I'm upset. Like I had to call her one day. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I was like, I don't know what happened.
I've had pain in nerve pain, and then I've also had pain that just comes along with having MS, including trigeminal neuralgia, which is pain in your eye. That was one of the diagnosing characteristics for me.
Nerve pain is probably one of the most excruciating feelings that anybody could ever feel. I gained 60 pounds in the first relapse. It was like I was dying. They said that I would be in a wheelchair permanently with someone taking care of me 100%.
It's the basic things in life that we take for granted. It is really challenging for me. Walking, I can trip over, so someone always has to walk with me. I can't go for a walk like I would like to, and exercise like I would like to. So things that I used to take for granted is now a challenge for me.
The pain is always there in some way, shape, or form. I've seen her come to grips with her reality, but she still fights daily to try to do the things that she wants to do, so she's a fighter.
Multiple sclerosis is an autoimmune disorder which affects the nervous system, that's the brain and the spinal cord. Currently on island, there are approximately 25 to 30 patients suffering from MS. Worldwide, it's estimated that 2.5 million people have multiple sclerosis. It occurs more commonly in females than it does males. The age group is around the second to third decade of life. Unfortunately, there is no cure for MS. The treatment for MS, the cost of it varies from around $8,000 to around almost $60,000 to $65,000 per year. These are just medications. There's also other tests which are involved, like MRIs, which need to be done every year, so the cost is quite high. There is extensive research going into multiple sclerosis. There are newer drugs coming out and are showing a lot of promise.
Sometimes just having a support system and a group of people that have something similar to what you have and knowing that you're not alone makes a world of difference. I think that's a wonderful thing about the MS Foundation.
Now we have a support group that has begun, so we need this because without that, we don't have anyone really to turn to.
There's a lot that goes on that emotionally, physically, and mentally with MS patients, and the caregivers also need to have support and have a foundation that they can say, I want to meet somebody that's going through what I'm going through.
The ultimate goal is not only to provide the financial and emotional support for MS patients and families, but to bring awareness. I think that's the biggest factor in breaking down the barriers of what MS is and the stigmas that go along with it, and making people see us for who we are and not our disease.
Send money, because we need to find a cure, and that needs research dollars and smart brains to make that happen. So give us all your money. Thanks.